What's up, YouTube? This is Too Raw for TV. All right, so I want to give credit to Dreamers Pro. He is, I think he's still live as I'm recording this. He first when I saw reporting this, man. So Anthony Davis uh, suffered an apparent lower leg injury in tonight's game against the Indiana Pacers. Now, of course, Anthony Davis is with the Dallas Mavericks. He suffered this injury. I want to say it was in the second quarter, but don't quote me on that one. And this is coming after he had started the season off relatively strong. Now, of course, going into this season, Anthony Davis was 20 pounds over his playing weight. All right, he was 20 pounds overweight. And I didn't really give him a lot of flack on that. And I'll talk about that in a minute. But there are fears that he has suffered some sort of Achilles injury. I don't think it's a tear. I hope it's not a tear. There's some hope that it's more of an Achilles. What's the word I want to look at? Achilles. Not tear, but flare up or pull or strain, I guess is what I'm looking for, strain. There's hope that it's more of an Achilles strain. But when you hear a lower leg injury in today's sports, it sends shudders up fans, and I'm pretty sure, obviously, teammates and organizations' spines, because we've known how lower leg injuries have turned out to become Achilles ruptures. Now, even though Anthony Davis has had a history of injuries, to be fair, he's never had an injury where he's had to have surgery or be out for an extended period of time. But he does tend to get hurt a lot, and it's happening more frequently as he gets older. Now, I can't help but think, and I'm not an expert on this, right? But I can't help but think it has a lot to do with the fact that he's older and he came into this season out of shape. Now, the reason why I'm not on him like I would be like a Zion Williamson or a Luka Doncic is because when people gotta look at these things for what they are. First of all, he had eye surgery, and you really can't. I mean, if you're recovering from eye surgery, I mean, you really can't be working out. You know what I'm saying? Like, you have to recover from that surgery. Also, you gotta understand, like, when they say he comes into training camp 20 pounds overweight, they don't mean he's 20 pounds over his, preferred or desired ideal weight. They mean he's 20 pounds over his playing weight, 20 pounds over his optimum athletic basketball playing weight. Like Anthony Davis could still probably gain another 20 pounds and still would be within the norm as far as his BMI for his height and size. You know what I'm saying? People's got to stop. I just see way too many people fat like me chastising these athletes for being 10 to 15 pounds overweight. Like, seriously? You know what I'm saying? I know other guys can do that. Sports and fitness rants and guys like Tiki can do that. They work out. I can't be going around here chastising these dudes for being, I mean, unless it's just blatant, like Zion is running around 300 pounds and, you know what I'm saying? And you're not even trying this shit, but come on, fellas. Anthony Davis is on the downside of his career. I think he's still productive, man, but I don't think he's a guy that's going to be able to play. I don't know, man. He's not that old, but he's 32 going on. I think he'll be 30. How old is he? 31 going on 32, I think. or 32, going on 33. Anthony Davis is getting older, and I don't think he's a guy that's going to be able to reliably play 70, 75 games every season anymore. And as far as his trade is concerned, the Luka Doncic and Anthony Davis trade. First of all, Anthony Davis didn't ask to be traded to Dallas. He's making the best of his situation. He was playing well. He got hurt. We can't deny that when he actually plays, he is playing at a high level. Now, he's not playing at I would say, the MVP level that we saw, with the Pelicans and most of his Laker tenure, but he's still playing at a very, very high level when he's actually out there playing, and he was getting into shape. But unfortunately, part of the reason why I think he suffered this lower leg injury is because he was out of shape. And these are the breaks, man. Unfortunately, man, this is the guy that's public enemy number one in Dallas right now. If anything was to go wrong, and it is going wrong, this is the guy that people are going to blame. Even though I still strongly believe that it was bigger than Nico, it's bigger than Rob Pelinka. I think this was a league, inside conspiracy to have those guys traded, because I think they wanted a long-term star with the Lakers, and they basically could just replace Luka with Cooper Flag, and they hope that works out for the best. But it really hasn't. Cooper Flag has kind of struggled a bit, but that's to be expected. Offensively right now, he has to work on his shooting ability. But Anthony Davis is hurt now, man. I don't know how long he's going to be out, but I've read a little bit about lower leg injuries, and if it's something that is not totally severe, you could, come back from that with some rest and recovery, but that could take several weeks. Severe lower leg injuries, depending upon what you're talking about, whether it's an Achilles rupture or an Achilles tear, well, then that requires surgery. And then we all know how long you'll be out for that. So, damn, they already don't have Kyrie Irving, man. So, shit, man, this thing's become a clusterfuck with Dallas, man. And you can see the potential there, man. We all felt like if that team could just be healthy, man, they could make a run. But damn, it's like just not meant to be, man. And then you look at what's going on in LA, though. They can't get it right. So anyway, man, that's all I got to say about this situation, man. I hope it's not a Achilles rupture. I really do. I don't think. Well, I don't know, man. I don't know what's going on. I can't sit there and say what I do think and don't think. Let me look at. I forgot to play something here. Just a little clip. See if I can pull it up. It's not really much out there as far as what's going on with him. Let me see. Yeah, the way that the fact that, I don't know, I'm assuming that he walked on his own power to sit down, and he's checking that lower leg area. So I would assume that he doesn't have a tear, because I don't think he'd be walking, or I don't think he would be that composed if he had an Achilles rupture. More likely it's an Achilles strain. But of course, you got to be careful with those, because they can lead. If you exacerbate that injury, it can lead to an Achilles rupture. But anyway, that's all I got to say about it, man. Tell me what you guys think.